Yes, there is a session today, John. Hi. Hello, everyone. This is Alex Koloskov and Timothy Kou. Hi, Tim.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Commercial photographer from Chicago and instructor at Photigy, and just a great guy. And we're going to do something really awesome today. We prepared. Tim actually got some cool idea. He's going to, beside the shot, we're going to shoot something for you. And Tim is going to Photoshop a little bit, do some magic
Secrets
in Photoshop.
of the trade.
Exactly.
Secrets of the trade.
Everything will happen today. Please share this video if you have friends who's interested in watching this stuff, and don't forget to subscribe to Photigy YouTube channel. This is where we do every Friday, except last one. It was something happened. I thought it was Thursday, not Friday. That's what happened. Anyway, we missed one day, but today is good. And
Also a secret of the trade.
yes, always.
Lose track of time.
Yeah, it happens. One more thing before we start. Okay, I see people coming. Awesome. Guys,
Great.
Next week we are releasing very interesting course at Photigy. And this is something that we didn't do before. Let me show you. Tim is sharing the screen. It's a course about jewelry photography. And what is unusual that this is a light painting. What it means that I use just one light, not even a studio light. Well, you can call it studio light, but basically it's just one light. No light modifiers, nothing. One light and the camera, and we got these shots. Of course, there is a Photoshop, but it's basically not more complex Photoshop than on any jewelry shot, or any jewelry post-production. So next week, we're going to release this course. We have now 3 images ready. It will be 2 different subjects. And well, this is something that anyone can do at home, not even in studio, with any light source. Stay tuned. Okay, we're done with this, how you call it, announcement.
Plug,
exactly. And we are at Photigy YouTube, so the chat that we're monitoring. Hi, Alicia, Hassam, John. Glad to see you guys.
good to see you guys.
Go to Photigy YouTube, youtube.com, see Photigy.
Yep, Photigy.
This one actually, Photigy Live.
Yes.
Anyway, it's posted. And you can ask us any questions. And we have 1 hour, plus minus a little bit, to show you the shooting. So
yeah. So like Alex said, we're going to shoot a product, and then we're going to do some post-production in Photoshop. And
I have a tool already for this.
And we're going to show you guys how we retouch and do a special thing called a background replacement. So
yeah, let's go for it.
all right. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna just explain to you what we were doing there while you couldn't hear us.
Let's share the screen, the capture one.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. So back here.
Yeah, go back to. So first, we had the light behind the diffuser just in the middle, and it didn't create anything nice on the left. Then we moved it to touch the diffuser and create a gradient, right?
So there's a gradient from light to dark here.
When we moved this light from this to here. Okay, you understand it, right? And you see actually it creates a gradient by looking at the modern light. It should be okay. Do they see? No, I think they see a little bit.
Okay.
Then it was a question about this reflection. This reflection at the bottom on the left. We were asking you what the reflection is. This. And the right answer was that reflection is coming from the table at the given angle. Here's our table, here's our subject. Camera was a little bit on top. You see the opening. And whatever is under the cup was reflecting at the bottom of it. And to fix it, if you don't want to touch anything, if you don't want to change the lighting, just using the law of reflection, we lowered the camera. We slightly lowered the camera, and this is the next shot. We got nice gradient on the side. And let's do one more click over here, because I think since then I moved the light even more behind the diffuser. That's it? Okay, looks like this is it.
Yeah,
we got the shot.
I think that's it.
No.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. Where is it? Where is our... No, it should be...
That's it. That's it. It should... There it is. There it is. There it is.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So now we've moved the light farther back behind the product. So that creates more of a tighter, dark edge around the product.
Right, and now it looks sort of okay, except maybe it's too dark on the front, right? And there is a little bit thick, for me at least, on my taste, reflection on the right.
Yes, I think this is a little too thick too.
So let's fix the reflection on the right then, because it's too thick.
There are a couple ways that we can do that.
Okay.
Well, I think it's a little too far forward too on the cup.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try to move it back towards this edge. And then we're going to try to make it thinner.
Okay.
Let me just check to make sure there are any questions. Well, what if you want to see inside a cup? How do you fix the reflection then?
Good question, but to see inside the cup, you need to remove the table underneath it.
Yeah. So you basically need a much smaller shooting surface.
Well, usually when I shoot something cylindrical like that cup, and I need to see from top, a little bit from top, I put it on a stick. I glue on a stick. There is nothing underneath it. I can put whatever I want. And basically, then Photoshop, like Tim gonna show you, you can put any surface in Photoshop later. But you cannot avoid following or being under the law of reflection, really. If it reflects something that sits there, there is no way. Photoshop, of course, can help you, but Photoshop it's magic, and we'll do it later.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys caught this in the sound, but we're going to do 2 segments here. We're going to shoot the product, and then we're going to go into Photoshop and retouch it, do a background replacement, and clean it up a little bit. So let's continue.
Let's continue. So let's jump to this.
Back here.
Tim, try to fix. Let's do something with that strip box, right?
Yeah, so obviously to move it back towards the edge a little more, we're going to do the same thing as we did on that side, and that's going to we're going to move the light farther behind the subject. Now, I don't mean necessarily closer to the subject, although, essentially that would do a similar thing. We're going to move it actually back on the z-axis, right? Back to here. Let's try that. And I'm not going to change the position of the light at all.
So let's try to shoot.
Alex, why don't we give a shot there? I moved it about 6 inches, and you guys will see how much of a difference 6 inches makes.
A lot.
On a photo. A lot, right?
A lot. Yep.
And it's a lot thinner too. Now the reason it's thinner is because it's actually, let's say the reflection is seeing less of the light. Right?
It's like you turn the light, you rotate it towards this side, right? It's actually facing this, not the cap. If it will be facing the cap, it will be more reflection visible. It's not facing, so it's less.
Right.
Let's fix the front. How we fix the front? It's easy to fix the front.
Basically, you throw another light.
Another light. And accidentally, completely accidentally, we have a light sitting here. Let's turn it on.
Yeah. What's that doing up there?
I don't know. Let's see, and let's shoot. Oh, we need to get new battery over here. And let's see what we'll get.
Oh, that's pretty. Now we've got some color. We've got some light on the cup there. It looks really good.
Show me. Well, what is going on? Tim, where's the reflection from this light? Why you don't see a bright reflection? Why? What's going on? Why?
Well, I would say that's probably because the light is so high above the cup,
Okay.
Alex, because the reflections are going to reflect what's on this. Because it's only a cylindrical shape. It's only going to reflect what's on the horizontal axis of around the cup. So let me grab this actually. Just kind of show you.
Oh.
This is reflecting in the same way, right? And you can kind of see how it's. Let me see here.
Where's my? Here we go.
Okay, all right. That's reflecting in the same way. You can kind of see how it's reflecting my hand here, right? As I bring it closer, ahead of the subject, you're going to see more of my hand. But that's only the horizontal axis. If I do this up here, it's not going to reflect my hand over here. So in order to light this subject, or our subject there, we raise the light, position of the light from down here to up here. So if you put the light down here and you try to hit it and produce some color in the front, then you're not going to get color, you're going to get a reflection of the light. So move it up, and you've got a fixed reflection.
Exactly. However, one trick thing, it will work with this cup, but it's not going to work with this. Because this is a mirror.
Yes.
And the problem with the mirror, if you don't see the direct reflection from it, it's not going to be visible at all. It's like try to highlight a mirror by the flashlight. Just try to make it the mirror okay, let's say this black room, completely dark room. You have a mirror somewhere. Get a flashlight, get inside that room, and try to highlight a mirror. You're not going to see anything except you will highlight some area that you see the reflection on that mirror, either the wall or whatever you see the reflection. With this guy, you would need to play way harder to get highlighted this area, and the trick is not to try to highlight it at all, like this.
Because it's just going to reflect whatever's in your room.
You highlight something else that gets reflection.
Basically, you're looking at something that's completely colorless here. Here, we've got color, we want to light up the color. Yes. And that's what we're doing with that angle of the light. Guys, we are live, so if you want to send us any questions, send us via text or on the chat of the YouTube live stream here.
Okay.
And we'll answer what we can.
So let's move forward. What else we can do? How we can improve this?
All right, Ashish, thank you for the question. If the bottom of the cup is dark, how to light it up? What will the lighting for it so that while highlighting the bottom of the cup, there are no ugly, unwanted reflections?
Oh, the bottom. Well, the same thing.
Similar thing. You have to get a light underneath the cup without
reflection. Yeah. It should be no table, but something else. If you have a table under the cup, especially with this shape, it will be always reflected table. For example, you can always put, if you really need a table for some crazy reason, I have no reason if I need to highlight that area. If you put something relatively bright under the cap, I just put it just in front, you will see. It will get reflection from it on the bottom. Well, it's not getting any reflection.
Well, it is a little bit. Somehow we're a little darker here.
It should be something white. If you put it paper or whatever, it will be reflection. But you understand that. Sorry.
That's actually pretty cool. I kind of like this highlight here, so I might just use that in our post.
Okay. So from this to
Happy
this.
accidents. They happen in the studio all the time.
No, where is it? Oh, it's here. So from this to this, you see how it changed the whole thing because we get a reflection, different things to be reflected. Anyway, let's, by the way, somehow it looks darker, no? No.
It does look a little darker. Did we turn this light down?
It's on. Let's turn it up a little bit. And you see how cool the background light, that spot that is behind looks like. You know, guys, if there is a little trick for you, we have a spot. It's a honeycomb grid, okay? It's a honeycomb grid behind. And to make it look more interesting, in case you're not going to do it in Photoshop, because Tim is going to show you how to do it in Photoshop, but in case you need to do it in the camera, red subject, okay? Nice red subject. Let's make it even brighter, a little bit more brighter. And this number 1 is actually, is it good? No, it's good. Okay. Blue. See what will happen.
Color.
Yep. Let's add some blue. I'm grabbing the gel, and put it in on this light, okay? Nice. On the light that is behind. And also I'm going to raise power of that light a little bit, because we know that, well, almost one f-stop. I know that when we put a gel, it's going to reduce amount of light that comes through. So, you see the difference, right?
That's cool. That's
red
cool.
on blue. It's immediately catch your attention. This is the way to use colors to bring attention to your image. Colorful images catching more attention, bringing more publicity to your images. So for a photographer, it's important to know how to use colors, you know, as an advantage. Okay, what else we can do here? Before we start putting the smoke and you do some Photoshop magic.
Yeah. I'd like to make that left side gradient just a little larger.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's try.
A little smoother. So in order to do that, we've already got the edge where we want it, right? Right now I have this, we've got this flag almost, you know, just directly perpendicular to our cup, right? So you kind of see that. What I'm going to do in order to not move the edge, and then also to make the gradient should get a little larger.
Right, exactly.
We're going to swivel where this is touching the light.
Okay.
Right? We're just going to swivel it a little bit closer there.
Right. So it
should widen it
supposedly bring more light over here, just softer gradient. Hopefully, you may need to raise.
Hopefully.
We may need to raise a little bit the power of that light. Did it do much? Not much.
Not
a little
much.
bit.
Not much.
What else we can do? Maybe we can move out that light and bring the power. Because you see, we already have the edge here because the diffuser actually ends. It's the end of the diffuser. Yeah. So it's already creating sharp edge. It should be okay. If we move light a little bit away, you see what I'm doing. I moved it away, and we add some power. Let's add like half f-stop, or maybe 1 f-stop to it, and see what it will do.
Now it's it should be a softer. There we go.
A little bit softer.
A little softer. Just a little bit.
Maybe like this. I think I like it this way. Nah, we get back to...
Too far.
Okay, so we need to sort of finalize it a little bit. Guys, if you don't have any questions about the lighting, let's move, because we need to fit the post-production part into this.
Can you try continuous? Yes, this should work perfectly with continuous lighting.
There is no
same lighting setup.
Yeah, there is no difference, guys. There is no difference. What type of light do you use on the still shots? If it's continuous, it works exactly the same. Of course, shutter speed and exposure will be different. Of course, you need to have no lights, no continuous lights on the studio, except affecting the image, basically. The rest, the way that you work with that light, exactly the same. Light is just a light. Okay, so it's strobe are great because we can mix it with continuous in the studio, and continuous lighting is not affecting the image at all. That's why we're basically using strobe to run those classes, right? Because you can see us, otherwise we need to shut down all the slides. Okay, so we got something, and Tim, for the post-production, you need know what kind of background. Maybe you don't need that background, the color one.
Let's pull the color out,
Okay.
just so I can show them something simple. Yeah, we'll do a full background replacement on the product, and then I'll show you what we were talking about in terms of the complementary colors versus similar colors.
Okay, so we can change in the background. And also you'll show us some magic in terms of how to bring life to this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? No?
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right. So, shall we go into segment 2? Any questions?
If no questions, we're going to open that thing in Photoshop. And
so 2 light setup for this is enough. Ashish,
actually,
this is actually a 4 light setup.
It's a 4 light setup, guys.
By now, so we have.
Oh, let's turn one by one.
Okay.
You talk. I'll.
All right. I'll talk.
You talk. I'll be turning on and off. Let's start from that light, right?
All right.
So 1 second. I need to do something tricky. Very tricky, like putting new batteries into the Pocket Wizard.
Secrets of the trade, people.
Secrets of the
trade. Always have batteries in your studio.
Yes, because for some reason it doesn't work if you keep your batteries there. Okay, so we have one light, that light. Tim, click it.
Click.
Yeah, click here.
Oh, there we go. That's
so
the
you'll be
release.
directing the whole thing. So
Okay.
you see 1, 1, 1.
Why don't we? That's the side light. Actually, I like to start, Alex, with a
Which one?
background light, so we
Background
establish a silhouette.
Okay.
So this is a really cool shot.
Click again.
But, all right, so we've got a silhouette here. Yes, we have a silhouette here. So we've got just the background light hitting the background and lighting up the backdrop. And then you want to turn on
Number 4.
reflection
Okay.
on the right side here.
That light is on. This one.
And that is going to bring in the strip of light over on this side. There we go. And then let's do the strip on the left side.
So then turn in that.
We'll have a harsh
Light number 3.
light number 3 here. And it's going to have a nice gradient
This one.
from edge to, if it'll click for me, from edge to the center there.
Okay.
So that's 3 lights there. Last light was I guess it's a diffused light up there.
It's a box light. Very cool thing from Broncolor.
And we're just gonna hit that, and that's again above the product to just light up the colors. And there we've got our shot.
That's it.
4 lights. 4 lights. So can you do this with 2 lights? Not really.
Well,
Not
we
really.
can
Not
do
exactly
with 3.
like this, but
For example, if we turn, let's try to minimize the amount of light. If we turn off light number, well, this one, I'm turning it off, and instead I'll try to put the reflector. Let's shoot.
so yeah, let's try that.
It may help. Of course, I kind of put in that
You'll
reflector.
get a little bit of reflection there, but it's not going to have the same kind of.
But still looks nice.
Strip.
Yes, still looks nice, right?
it's pretty
And
good.
actually, it's a cool thing that we get in somehow the reflection from that other light on the handle. You see, it wasn't there before. Oh no, it was. Okay,
I think
but
it was,
it's-
yeah.
So you can do it with 3 lights, definitely. You can do it without the background, kind of with 2 lights only. 1 light, 1 reflector over here, and white light, 1 light on top. Without the background, but of course, without the background, it will be very different shot. I mean, it will be just a black. Let's turn off the background, number 2, and shoot. So 2 lights, this light and that light.
With a reflector.
Yes, and reflector, of course. But so this is the maximum we can do with two lights and subject like this. I don't think we can eliminate more than this.
I don't think you can reduce more. Because
You can.
If you want this reflection here, you need at least a light or a reflector. And if you're going to put a reflector there, it needs to reflect something.
Right.
So you do need a light opposite it.
Yes.
And then
If instead, for example, we may try to eliminate this light and put a reflector on it, but I can tell you that we can do it, we can try. I can get as close as possible to the subject,
this will be it.
but
It's just not enough power.
the problem, yes, it's not enough power. It just, and if we put too much power on that light, it just blow up the left side, and it's not going to work too.
And also, you're starting to see that reflection of your reflector card. So really, you need that box light up there to light up that color.
Yep. Okay, let's switch to see the chat, and let's start post-production. It's time.
Which shot here? I don't remember which one.
Well, pick the one that you like. No, I'm talking, let's see the comments. I mean, if there is anything going on here. Where would you add the light to light the bottom?
We talked about that just a little before, Jack. And we talked about just adding a reflector down there.
So to highlight the bottom, especially considering the shape of the bottom of the cap, it will reflect always things under the cap. You put under. To highlight the bottom if you need. It either can be a reflector, like we did, some crazy napkin, or it can be the light, but it should be under the, I mean, in front, between the camera and the cap, but under the camera and the cap. Got it, right? It may be actually a reflector. But in this case, guys, to work it without the surface, without the table, you need to put the cap on a stick, glue it.
The cup.
The cup. Thank you. Cap. I lost the cap for my lens recently, and I found it, so I'm really excited. Okay, so you put the cup on the stick, and then you work. We have actually course on this. Check the Photigy, it's level 2, I think, course. It's called Essentials in Product Photography. All this covered. Just check it out. You know where to look at. Okay. So let's run Photoshop. Pick up the shot that you like.
Well, actually, I think I might use this shot plus one of the standard shots that we had, just because people are asking about the bottom, and I think that those are good. It's some good input there. So let's use this one and.
So go to Photoshop and open.
And this one. So this we're looking at number 2 and number 39.
Just do it like this. Yeah, very Photoshop. So this one.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do anything. We just.
I'm sorry.
Do you need the mouse on this, or are you okay? Well, you have this.
I'm okay for now. Okay. All right.
Then select not the brush because it will be okay.
All right, so we're just going to open, and then we're going to use number 2 and number 39, was it?
Oh, you know, let me see that. Maybe I can check questions on the form.
Okay. This is a little bit darker, so we're just going to pull up the exposure on that. So about there.
Yeah, tell, or I mean, everything that you do. Exposure on this.
Yeah, so this is, if you are shooting in JPEG, which you shouldn't be, you're not going to see this screen. This is a camera raw screen in Photoshop, and you know, it allows you to change the exposure. So if you want it a lot darker, a lot brighter exposure, you can change your contrast. I'm not going to touch the contrast now, actually, because we're going to do all of that in post. Maybe just add just a little bit of clarity. Doesn't need much. Exposure's fine on this one. Okay, well, I think we're good to start here. Okay, well, that's number 2. Where did 39 go? There we go. So we have two shots here that we're going to comp together, right? And the first thing we're going to do is drag this shot. It's got the background selected. I'll take the whole thing and let's see, drag it into our other file. Is that working? Usually works for me.
What do you try to do? Just, oh yeah, it works this way, yeah.
There we go. And we want to line this up properly, so I'm going to go to Difference, and that allows me to just line this up just right there. Let's just move it that way.
Nice.
That looks pretty good. Oops.
Oh.
Well, let's move it over. Actually, for this lineup, I'm most concerned about the bottom because we're just comping in the bottom here. So let's make sure that's all lined up. Okay, all right, good enough, good enough. So we're going to go back to normal. And like I said, we just want the bottom of the cup for this. So I'm going to mask it. And holding down Alt, let's undo that. Holding down Command, rather, we can add, I did mean Alt, add a mask to get rid of that there. And then we need to brush it back. So I've got a standard brush here. That's not the standard brush. Let's use a standard brush. Nice sized brush here. And we're just going to pull this area in where we want it. And just like right up there. Get rid of the napkin there. Oop, too much. It's a little funny actually working on somebody else's computer.
I can imagine. First time here
okay.
and...
All right. There we go. We want that there. We want that there. And
we got the chat, so I can help you here. I mean, translate what people saying.
I don't know. Looks a little funny to me. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Tim, it's okay. Go what you can do just on the fly like this. We all understand that. Don't try to do everything, because this probably completely different settings on the Photoshop, right?
There we go. Yes, yes. Got the wrong brush selected here.
Okay, and let me answer a few more things. So what kind of mount have you got your camera on as it very high from the stand? The camera mount? Oh, I see. Well, Paul, it's a few things. Does it work?
Yeah,
okay.
This is fine. This is fine. We just added a little bit of a reflection in there. It doesn't look amazing because the napkin was just kind of tossed in there. If we were to, do it,
but at least you showed how to do composite.
Yeah. So that's how you composite this shot. If I turn this off, just this area, use a layer mask, and later on you can commit that layer mask so you don't have a lot of information, and then. You just kind of mask it in.
So what next step? What's the next step?
The next step, we're going to do a background replacement.
Okay.
Okay, and meaning we're basically going to get rid of the entire background. Okay. And add a new one in.
Okay. So for that shot, ideally it should be shot on a stick. We did it just to bring a little bit more thing for you to think about when you shoot on the surface. But if you're going to clip out the subject, there is no need to shoot it on a surface because you get reflection from it. Shoot it on a stick from the beginning and then clip out and put whatever you want. So, but we're going to do it right now in Photoshop.
So using my pen tool, I'm just going to draw around the entire object here. Guys, basically the best way to learn how to use the pen tool is to just use it. Jump in, start trying different things, and experiment with it.
Kurt is saying, thank you, Kurt, cool little trick that when you drag one image into another on Photoshop, you can hold down the Shift key and it will line up the two images. So with Shift, it will just use the frame.
Yes.
If your camera was not moved between two, it will work. However, if you have any vibration and anything that not aligned properly, you have to do it using the difference and do it manually. But yeah, thanks, Kurt. Halil asked about, can you share your thoughts on what to look before editing in Photoshop? I'm not sure that I'm getting what to look for. Well, from photography standpoint, you need to make sure that we have all the shots if it's composite, or do maximum and the camera, right? Before you go to Photoshop, if that's what you mean. But maybe there is something else you look, I don't know. Anna asking, can you open JPEG with camera raw by changing Photoshop settings? You can open JPEGs with camera raw. Yes, you can open JPEGs, yeah, definitely.
Yes, but you can't really edit JPEGs.
Yeah, we don't work with JPEGs. We try to avoid to work with JPEGs because it's, you're losing most of the information.
If you're Photigy members, I have a little talk on RAW versus JPEG on Photigy, and you can find that. And I explain the difference between RAW and JPEG and why we don't shoot in JPEG.
Yeah, there is big difference, and especially when you do, well, not especially when you do Photoshop work. So, what was the aperture? What is so blurry? Wojtek asking. Actually, aperture was f9, and I rarely use f9. Usually, it's more closer to f14 or f16. And this time we use f9. So at that distance, f9 was not enough to get the whole thing in focus. You see it? Yeah, definitely. It's too blurry.
But for the purposes of...
Yeah, it's all will work.
Okay, all right, oops.
And actually, I did a mistake that I set the focus on the front side of the cap. And this is why, it was all the way, especially the handle, which was rotated backwards a little bit, it's out of focus. Ideally, I need to put the focus somewhere in the middle for subject like this, with all those handles, and then to have depth of field to cover, front and back. That's all the whole subject in the focus. Okay.
All right, so I've drawn around our entire subject here, and in order to do this this background replacement, I'm just going to now make a selection. Actually, before I do that, let's do this. Let's add a path, which I am using my silly thing in that. Okay, and then we're just going to call this cut.
So you create a path, right?
I created a path,
okay.
and that path goes all the way around the subject there. That allows me to easily, just holding down the Command key on Mac, or the is it Control on a PC, and then clicking on the path image here, that makes a selection for the entire
cool
subject.
Yeah, you got it selected. Yeah. Now, what next?
So now, to refine this edge just a little bit, because the way I've selected it, it's going to be sharp. So we select either our lasso tool or something like that, the box selection, and then we can feather the edge there just a little bit.
So you feather the edge of selection to make it smoother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's too sharp, and it's sharper than what the camera can capture, and it's going to look unrealistic. So we're just going to feather just a little bit.
Try to avoid this area because you see it's covered with our image. So, you need
so we're over here.
Yep.
So we've got refine edge, people, and then feather just a little bit. I like to pull back the contrast just a little bit to you know, keep that feather a little less, you know, feathered.
I see.
All right, so we've got that, and now we can. I'll add a new background.
So we just create a new layer.
We just hit. Where's my gradient? Gradient tool. I just made a new layer.
Okay.
And now, well, you know what? Before I did.
What about selection? Your selection probably needs to be.
So we'll deselect it first, and then
So-
we'll create our gradient. That's not right. Circular gradient.
Okay.
And then we're going to go from this color to this color.
Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong way.
But we need
Switch
to.
that.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There we go. I'll create a new layer. And then just at our horizon,
Okay.
I'm going to create another gradient.
Oh, so I see. I see. This is how you creating sort of a table.
Yep.
Nice.
So now we have sort of a table.
Okay.
All right. But it's on top of everything, and so we want to get rid of the areas that our product is in, right? So go back to paths, select the cup, refine that. Turn these off for a second. Refine that edge. We feathered it about 2 pixels or so.
Oh, wait a minute. You selected the cup.
Yes, I made a selection using the path that
Okay.
I created earlier.
I'm completely dumb in Photoshop, so I can ask very.
Sorry if
dumb
I'm moving
questions.
too fast. This is how I.
You see
I
my
work in
role
studio.
here? I'm slowing him down.
So if I'm going too fast, just please slow me down, because if I'm going too fast for you, then I'm
I'll be
probably
just
going too
asking
fast for our students here.
Crazy question.
So I selected the cup
Okay.
shape using our path, and now after refining the edge to soften it just a little bit, I can use that and go back to here and create a mask that eliminates that area. That's the wrong.
Okay.
Well, all I have to do is invert that. So now we have the cup in a brand new background. And we'll do the same thing for this. I can just hold down, what is it? Command, no. Alt, right? Alt, and then drag the, no. I'm a PC guy.
Yeah.
Drag the mask onto this layer, and it.
Okay, so it kind of applies the same thing.
Yeah, it just copies the layer, the layer mask onto another layer. So now we have a brand new background, right? And you can move this around a little bit if you wanted to move your horizon up or down.
Right.
Just,
Okay.
that looks
Nice.
okay to me.
That looks okay to me too.
Okay.
What about colors and? Because it should be the specific reason why we do this, right? We didn't do it, let's say, in Photoshop. I mean, in the shot for some reason.
Right.
So that's why. I mean, we.
So I like to group my background. I'm just going to call it background. If I can spell here, background.
Okay.
And to change the colors and stuff, that's pretty straightforward. All I have to do is add an adjustment layer.
Okay.
On top of that. I don't know where you keep your adjustment layers, so I'm going to go up to Window and Adjustments. So we open up our adjustment layer, and I can add a levels adjustment layer. And then to apply that directly only to my background, I'm going to hold down Alt, and then when you move your cursor right in between these two layers, you can, oops, you can miss, or you can apply that directly to the layer below it.
Okay.
And now I can change not my RGB, but just a single
Channel.
channel.
Red,
And I
for
can.
example. Okay.
So this is
Nice.
why we don't shoot red with a red background.
Yep.
The product disappears, right? We want to shoot red on a blue background to make it more, to make it stand out more. I'm going to pull the greens out a little bit there.
Nice.
So now we have a nice
Nice.
blue background.
Yeah, blue, red, that's what we try to do with gels. It's always good to use gels as well, but, well, Photoshop is a great tool for this as well. Okay.
So that's a layers adjustment tool, and we just shifted the colors.
I think I got it. Now, magic. A question, actually there is no question saying that Shahan, sorry, you can also right click on the image between the path from pen tool and click make selection, and it will give option to feather selection. Anyway, there are different ways to do it.
Yes, there's always different ways. There
are
probably 15, 20 different ways to do every single thing in Photoshop.
Right.
So we're only discussing one way.
Okay.
Now magic.
Magic. Guys, are you ready for magic?
I'm going to add another layer. And our magic happens with a cool brush. Just a large thumbnail. We've got some really neat brushes here, Alex.
There are brushes, specific brushes. I think we get it somewhere, well, just Googling it, free brushes, as far as I remember. But also, well, Jenny was buying, Jenny Larionova, she's our retoucher, maybe she was buying something. I'm not sure, but I know for sure that some of the brushes like this are completely free. You just search for, what kind of brush is this? Let's show you.
Yeah.
You will
so
see.
You can't really tell what's going on there, but I'm going to, let's zoom out just a little bit.
Okay, so when you search smoke brush for Photoshop on Google, you will find free downloads that you can use. And here we go. Just one click. This is the magic. This is what happens when you need to bring the life to your shot. And just imagine how much things needs to be done in the studio to make some steam or smoke coming from the cup. It's possible to do it in the studio, but probably not in how much? 1 minute?
Yeah, less than that. It was like 3 seconds. Once you find a brush, it's a brush that works, and it's pretty fast.
Yep.
Obviously, this doesn't look refined.
It's just one click,
so
yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and refine it just a little bit. I'll add a layer mask, and we're going to go in here with a regular Photoshop brush. I like my stroke thumbnails, so I can tell what. There we go. I'm going to use that brush, and then let me get it a little smaller. All right. Just clean that up a little bit.
So just clean the bottom. And the question is, let me see, any tips shooting leather subject on this setup from Rahim? Well, there are tips, but we just cannot cover this.
You can't cover everything, unfortunately. Yeah. If you want to learn more, there's totally tons of material on Photoshop that you can learn. Photigy that you can learn. All of these tips and tricks in more detail.
1 second, Tim, I'll interrupt you because there are questions coming. Guys, if you didn't know, on Photigy there is Studio Basics. This is the beauty, it's probably about 100 tutorials over there. If you go to library, relatively simple to get, simple to follow, but really, like basics, how to shoot leather, how to shoot here and there, tons of them. Just go to Studio Basics. It's under Learn menu, okay? Studio Basics to library or to challenges, but basically you go to library, okay? So, Tim, sorry.
Back to Photoshop. So I'm going to put this layer on screen, and that basically allows only the bright spots to come out. It doesn't darken anything.
So you change the blending mode to screen.
Blending mode is on screen now, and that allows only the light. The lighter it gets,
right.
The
got to
more
make lighter, darker
it
gets.
If I make it darker, then it's going to disappear. Now you could do this with a layer mask too.
Well, it's one of the ways.
Yeah,
it's okay.
One of the ways, but I'll show you this way too. So I'm going to switch it to screen, and then lock the transparency so I don't accidentally, draw something like that and then make a flub. So we're going to lock the transparency, and now it's only going to color what's actually, where there's information. And I'm going to pull my opacity down to about 24, and we're going to slightly larger brush here.
So you color in the smoke?
Now I'm just
You
finding areas in the smoke that I want to make a little darker.
I see. So you're making it basically darker and it disappears.
Yes.
Because of the mask. Okay.
Because of the mask. So I've got a completely black brush on a low opacity. If I ramp the opacity up and black, it's basically acting like a mask. So we could accomplish the same thing with a layer mask, but this is a different way of doing it. So.
Okay. There is Wojtek saying that to select perfect background color, I use Swatchmatic application. You just point your camera at the product and select the complementary color for the background.
Excellent.
Interesting. I didn't know Swatchmatic. Did you know about it?
I don't know. I didn't know about it.
Thank you, Wojtek. Interesting.
Okay. So.
Nice. Yep.
Some little something.
Well, something. I think we're done with the Photoshop lesson. Tim, it was great. Thank you.
There's
it was
more
awesome.
to do to finish this project.
Yep. Let's wait a few more minutes for questions, guys. Now, if you have questions,
if you've got questions, fire away. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. I'm adding a new layer. This is my corrections layer, and I like to use that just to clean up.
You see what he's doing? He never can stop because for a toucher, it's like when you see the image and there is a Photoshop and thing for you, in front of you, there is always ways to improve it to make it nicer. So here we go. So shoot your questions.
Ask
we are here for a few more minutes. And what I can tell, look for next week release. Again, it will be a really interesting jewelry photography course with just one light, basically light painting for jewelers. And you mean, привет. No, it's okay, it will be all recorded, so no worry if you just joined it. And also, next Friday, we'll be, well, without Tim, unfortunately. He's flying back to Chicago, I think, or very soon. It will be Photigy Photo Talk, Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, so join us next time and subscribe to the channel for sure if you don't want to miss it. Okay, the questions from Ashish. How will you match the color of the smoke to blend it with the studio light background to make it look realistic?
Adjustment layers.
Adjustment layers.
Adjustment layers. Just keep playing around with it until it looks right.
Since the smoke on a separate layer, you can do whatever you want with color of that smoke, right? Adjustment layer or any, it's just separated. And that's the beauty of using the brush for this. As I understand correctly. Okay. How to determine the exact color temperature of a light? Well, let me tell you how we do it. I never had that task to determine exact temperature, but you can shoot a grade card and you can set the white balance on it, and then you can see how much K, but no, it's probably not. No, I don't know. I never tried to determine exact color temperature.
I don't think
there is device for this. That's I know for sure. The meter for the color temperature. I know guys been using it. I think it's measures CRI and all that kind of stuff for LEDs, but I never had that task. I never. So just Google it.
Yeah.
Just так. Wojtek saying that smoke always should be white. This is true in most of the cases. However, when you do artistic stuff, I don't think that there is any should be. Really, you can have smoke. Even in real life, there are different ways to have colored smoke.
Would it upset you if I made the smoke pink?
Yeah. Can you make it pink easily?
Yeah, I can make it pink.
Let's make it pink.
So where's my smoke? This is my smoke layer, right? Smoke, whatever. So if I want to change the color of the smoke, again, we go back to adjustment layers. I like to use levels, just a personal preference, and I can shift my...
On a red channel, for example.
Yeah. Let's...
something popping up. Probably not the right
layer.
layer.
There we go. There we go. Again, applying it only to the layer below. Hold down Alt, and you can do that.
Okay, it's getting a little bit pinkish. Whoa. Little by little.
Yeah, let's pull the blues and greens out. Let's do that.
Okay.
So we got that.
Pinky.
Pink smoke.
Looks
So there's a lot you can do.
Yep.
To match it. How do we zoom? Just like that. More questions?
No, people talking about color in smoke, but it's okay. Okay, so if guys no questions, then we going to say goodbye very soon. No, no, that's not fast.
The focus? There we go.
Focus, where is focus? Focus.
All right.
Oh, I see. Focus is playing strange things. I think when it doesn't see the face, it's thinking, okay, I don't care about foreground. I mean, the foreground. Let's go somewhere.
Faces here. Faces here.
Okay. Do you have? There is a question. Do you have? So, do you have?
Do I have?
Yes, he has.
I have.
So cool.
Okay. I haven't.
Check sound. So again, sound. Sound looks good. Come on, I see the sound is jumping there.
Check sound.
Video on Photigy. Rahim, there are so many videos on Photigy. Really, it's like hundreds and hundreds of hours. I mean, you can search.
Explore.
Yeah.
Find something that you like.
Tell me what exactly you're looking for. Maybe I can send you later on the chat the link if I know where it is. Okay, guys, it was a great time. Tim, thank you so much for coming and doing all this.
Absolutely.
It's probably the best show that we ever had so far at Friday Talk, really, and in the studio. I wish you could live closer.
Yes, I wish I could come here all the time.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us. Next stream, there is a question, will be next Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, okay? If you have any ideas what you want to see on that stream, post to admin.photigy.com in the questions or on the forum, or, well, you know how to reach us. Post your suggestions, your expectations, and we'll try to do it for you, okay? Friday, every Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time at Photigy Live on YouTube. Subscribe to Photigy, and, well, stay cool. Anything you want to say? That's it.
Keep shooting, guys. Just shoot. And that's how you build inspiration and skill, and that's where it's ready. So.
Exactly. This is one of the things that makes your life beautiful. The feelings, actually. And photography gives you really good feelings.
Pursuit of happiness.
Exactly. Okay, so thank you, everyone. It was a great pleasure, and let me shut down the stream. Have a mouse there. Bye.
Adios.